As of today, a little over 76% of all online searches are done with Google, which means that we really need to listen to what Google is saying and respond with a website that caters to that. This is why we're taking care of securing it, why we're speeding it up, why we're optimizing images, all of the work that we're doing here. But we also have to think about the content. While I'm not going to tell you how to write content that gets noticed by search engines and impresses your visitors, at least not in this course, what I am going to show you is a plugin that will start guiding you in the right direction. It won't write the content for you, but it will tell you the likelihood that your content will be rewarded in search. So this plugin is called Yoast SEO. You can find it here and you can configure settings through here, or you can look for your new SEO tab over here on the menu. So there's a lot to mess around with in here. Dashboard isn't going to tell you much. It's just going to let you know if there are any major SEO problems with your website. Features, just make sure these are all toggled on. Yoast is the premier SEO tool. It's very user-friendly, so you should put a lot of faith in what they do. So any of the features that you can take advantage of, be sure to set them here and save changes. Webmaster Tools we're going to talk about in a little bit in the next lesson, actually. And this is your way of directly communicating with Google. Search appearance is a way for you to decide how you want your pages and posts to show up in search and which ones you want to show up in search. So let's say you don't have a blog. There's no reason to show posts in search results since there's nothing to show. But if you do, take a look at this section here. So you can see there are placeholders here. That's what these little bubbles are. You can actually add others if you'd like, or you can write your own. So for instance, on my website, I just use the title, and then I add Suzanne Stacka Writing Services. And then that way, anytime a blog post of mine ranks in search, any of my web pages, it has my name attached to it. It lets people know that I'm a writer. You obviously don't want it to be so long that it can't be seen in search, but this way you can automate how your titles are written and how they're optimized for the search engines. It'll make less work of all the search optimization you do. So you can do the same under meta description. What I do here is I usually put the title and then I can add a few descriptor words for each post. But the more you can do to automate this, again, please do it so that you don't have to worry about each of your pages having the right metadata, which is what this stuff is, and it's just less for you to worry about. So again, I'm going to add the title here, and I can customize as I go along. Now these other ones up here, they pertain to whether you want your images to rank in search, which isn't a bad idea if you publish custom photography, illustrations, team photos, anything like that. Make sure this is enabled. You can also have your categories, tags, your blog archives rank if you have a very big and popular blog. Breadcrumbs are for e-commerce websites, so don't worry about that. And this is just to protect your content if it shows up in an RSS feed. There are bots that will go on websites like yours, steal your content, publish it on their website, and they will rank for it. You don't want that to happen. You want to get credit for everything that was published on your site first and that you created on your own. Yoast is nice enough to add this here so that if anyone does copy text from your website, this is automatically added to the end of it and you get credit for it. So Google will be able to sniff out anyone who's tried to steal your content. So just leave this here, don't go changing that. Search Console we'll cover in the next lesson. Social media. Social media plays a really big part in how well a brand in general ranks in search. So if you have any business social media accounts associated with this website, be sure to add the URLs here. But once you scroll down, you're going to see a new box called Yoast SEO. It's in here where we're going to create all of the metadata that shows up in search. So as you can see right now, this is what my post looks like when Google tries to rank it. It's not great. It's not terrible either. So you can either click on this or click on Edit Snippet to open your metadata. So I'm just going to do a quick search here for my website, just to give you an example of how this works. So you can see here, this is my professional website. Whoops. You have the name of my website with some descriptors. You have my URL, the description, and based on what kind of business you have or website that you're planning to run, you'll have extra information down here. Like if you have a local business, your address might appear, or your phone number. So back in here, this is telling you what is going to show up here. So you want to make this as user-friendly as possible, which means making it descriptive, keeping it concise, and using keywords that will help you get found. So here we have an orange score. Yoast is telling us it's good, it's just not great. So as you can see, I've started customizing this. I'm going to customize it a little more and add another tag. This way it gives me a green score. I feel like it's descriptive enough and people will want to come and read this blog post. I'm not going to mess with the slug. The slug is this part of your URL. So it's the permalink that people will click on. And then the description. So I have the description set to pull in the title, as you just saw when we were creating that template. I don't want the title here. I want something more descriptive. All right, so I now have a green score on this awesome description of my post. Yoast is saying, great job, your post is readable and you have metadata that looks good for search. So you can look up here, you can see that my snippet's been updated, so I know how it's going to appear in search listings. You can also switch it and see what it's going to look like on a desktop or mobile. Yoast is going to tell you if there's anything wrong with the readability of your post, meaning paragraphs are too long, you haven't used a spell check, anything like that. And you should add a focus keyword here. Every page, every post should have one keyword that you want to rank for. For this, I just want my name to rank. I want people to know who I am, and I want to focus this page around that. So the rest of the page, if I were to build it out, wouldn't just have my picture. It would talk a bit more about my bio and introduce people to me, just to give you an example of how you would use this. Now, Yoast is also going to analyze this and tell you if you haven't used it frequently enough in the post, if you're not using it in the right spots, if it's just not a good keyword to rank for. So be sure to spend some time in this analysis and get a sense for how your page is going to do in search. You can easily tweak each of these settings to get yourself a green score and improve your chances in ranking well.